Hello, in this episode, we are going to see how to use Jupyter. So kind of things that we'll do is that I'll show you basic Jupyter operations, and there are many places where you can find such information. Here's just one that I happened to look recently, and many of these exercises are inspired by this article. There are many ways to open Jupyter. You can open Anaconda Navigator, for example. And then through the Anaconda, you can invoke Jupyter. Here's the one. Actually, we want to have the TF26 environment. And you can launch the Jupyter. Of course, the alternative, let me just mention, I'm not going to start this, but is that Jupyter TF26 is here, and you could have just clicked this button here and started it. But anyway, either way you do it, you can just launch Jupyter. And I already have some pre-coded program just to show you, but let me just show you how to do it. You want to have a program that you want to use, like here. You could click the upload button here, and then the Jupyter IPYNB file, upload. I already have uploaded it, so I'm going to override it. And then you can find that here. So you can just click it and it will open. Of course, you can start a new notebook, a new notebook, Python 3, and then if you click it, you will start a new notebook. But since I typed it, let me just show you what we have here. Right? So I haven't taught you any Python language. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but I'm just using some that may look very common sense-ish. But the purpose is to show you how to navigate this editor. So the Jupyter is like your Microsoft Word kind of editor. You just type stuff in there. It just happens to be that some of these, the computer can actually understand and do some stuff for you. So that's the difference. So in Jupyter, when you open it up, so just like Microsoft Word, you can open files, save them, and do things. And notably, unlike Microsoft Word, they are what we call cells. They are blocks where you type stuffs in. For example, here I already typed of print in parentheses hello world. What this is, it's what we call a code cell, where the Python language can be typed in. And if you have such kind of cell and you happen to click this run button, it will execute it. So here it did hello world. I could have changed it to, or let's say, hello my friend. And if I execute it, it will print hello my friend. See? Okay. All right. In addition to this, you can actually insert. Okay, you can insert a cell, like either insert and insert a cell above or below, or you can just click the plus button here. It will insert a cell, a new cell here, isn't it? This by default is a code cell where you can print a command like print before hello. And if you just run it, it will print hello, of course. But instead of that, you can actually you repurpose it, the cell, to be a different kind of thing. And it's called what we call a Markdown cell. And this Markdown cell, if you type print hello, it will say, what? Isn't it? It won't run that program, isn't it? This is because the Markdown cell is like a text. It's like it's using it like a Microsoft Word. Okay, it's a text. So it will just, if you run it, it will just it won't say print hello. It will say print double quotation hello, because this recognizes it as like an alphabet, not a computer language. Okay, and it can do even better, and that's why people like Jupyter kind of editor. I can make this actually a big heading. If I put a shop in there. So if I go back here and if I put a sharp cut in the text. So in a Markdown cell, if you put one sharp, it's a very big title. And if a double sharp, it's the next size title, and so forth. You can show this, you can see the title. And if you run it, you can see that the font sizes are different depending on this. You can also have in the text, this is, and then italics, I put it between stars, it will print as an italics. And if you have double stars between the word in front of and after the word, then it will have it as a bold. So if you run it, actually it makes it a bold, and this makes it an italic. Also, you can have like a subheading and heading, like a list. So here, if you put a slash and then a space, and then here, it will recognize it as a list, okay, a bullet point, like this. Okay, so this is sort of like, and you can look up the Jupyter and the Google documentation in Google and see many more features, but you can get the idea that this is very friendly, unlike many other computer programming debugging environment. This actually has a fairly sophisticated text manipulation, just like some people use it to make it actually a book, a computer book made in Jupyter. So the next thing that Jupyter does, and maybe from plain Python that one needs to keep in mind, is that we want to use a plotting, and we will probably use matplotlib. You actually have to type this ampersand mark, the % mark matplotlib inline, this command, and then you can do the matplotlib and plotting. So you didn't learn it, but here there are some plotting routines, and it basically just has 1, 2, 3, 4 and plot that, and I'm calling the y-axis or some numbers, label it and then show it. It will basically run it and show it, isn't it? So these are just we'll talk more when we do a Python review, but you can do stuff. So there in Jupyter, there are cells that are code cells that the Python can understand as a computer language, and there are cells that you can actually use, like I don't know you're familiar with this, but like a LaTeX style, almost quality kind of text editing, which is why many people who use program and want to leave a documentation, they like to use Jupyter. So these are the kind of things that we use frequently. Finally, yeah, so it's a good idea to save it. What this will save is that it will save in the Jupyter environment, this backup file that you uploaded, that will be uploaded. But if I have my original file in some other location, I probably want to go to File and Download As, and you have many options, HTML and all this, but I want my notebook, IPYMB. So, and it won't show up here. Okay, so let me just, where it is, it's already being downloaded in my download folder. Here it is, isn't it? So I can cut and paste and put it wherever I want to. Sometimes you need to communicate with other people, and may you want to use in Python format they use. So then you can download it as a .py, the original download. And then my computer keeps blocking py, where sometimes there are viruses, but you can just say, okay, I want it. And then you can see here in my download, the same file is actually saved as a .py format. So this is how you save it. Okay. So these are the basic operations. I highly recommend you to Google about Jupyter, and they'll tell you a lot of nice features about what you can do with Jupyter. Thank you.